Welcome back to Factorio Seablock and TSM, episode 56. 56, yes, I believe so. So, as suggested between last episode and this, I added this extra row. It hasn't really resolved anything in terms of the mineral ore. They're, excuse me, desperately crying out for more, so and I haven't actually built another one yet. What I have done is I have cleared up here, and I have used the bots to do it, and started laying down a bit more of the pathways here. I've added in the tin and the silicon belts. For now, the silicon, or the tin at least, is just running into a couple of processing ore processes and then into the same process we had before, except we have a less limited supply of tin. And I was about to do the same with the silicon because I saw they have silicon processing here as well. But then I ran into a problem. I think this is the end output. Whoops. Oh, okay, recipe. So process silicon usage. You can turn it into trichlorosilane, which is probably pronounced very differently than that, but that's what I'm going to call it. Trichlorosilane, something like that. And hydrogen gas from process silicon and hydrogen chloride gas. Or you can make silicon pellets in a future formula. I don't exactly know where these end up. Somewhere weird. So we're not worried about that though. What we are worried about is the processed silicon. All you can do effectively right now is make this trichlorosilane. So if we go in there and see what it's used for, apparently you add 6 silicon ingots with 90 trichlorosilane and you get 24 silicon ingots. So how do we get 90 of these guys? Well, our recipe for 120 is 8 processed silicon, plus a bit of stuff, hydrogen and chlorine, to make hydrogen chloride, which we have an abundance of hydrogen, and burning up more chlorine will probably give us some more, what's that stuff that we need for, what am I talking about? I am talking about this stuff that we need for our aluminium process. So, you know, burning up the chlorine is not such a bad idea, and we have plenty of it, so I don't mind doing that. So it would be 6 processed silicon to make 90, 8 to make 120, 6 to make 90. So 6 silicon plus 6 processed silicon makes 24. Okay. That's what this says. So the processed silicon is 4 becomes 2. So 6 is 12. If 4 silicon normally get turned into well, if 24, it's 1 to 1. We have a new formula where 18 becomes 24, basically by adding some chlorine and some hydrogen. So yes, please, I would like to do that. So let's go back to that recipe. So we're going to need hydrogen chloride. We're going to need a chemical furnace. We release some hydrogen, so the hydrogen can kind of cycle around. I don't know if we're gaining or losing hydrogen it doesn't really matter. We just have to work out how much this uses. We have hydrogen to spare, so that's not a problem. We will need a chemical furnace. I guess a Mark 1 for now will do. Blast furnace, chemical furnace Mark 1. We can actually make Mark 2s. I'm missing a bit of iron. Let me get some iron. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I was still in map mode. Let's get some iron. Like so. Actually, should I make the Mark 2? We can always come back and upgrade to the Mark 2. So let's start with the Mark 1. And what I can do is use... we want to get back here. We can use the bots to our advantage. We basically need to insert the step where we make the trichlorosilane, because our usage is to add it to silicon ingots. So we need a supply of silicon ingots. We do this in a chemical furnace as well. And then so we'll basically have a bit of a loop where 18 will be passed through and 6 will come back to the process to redo the process, if you like. Rather than this blast furnace. So, in other words, we need a second chemical furnace, so that is fine. Rather than what we were doing before, which used this guy, so I need room for... I need to move this up. And I don't want to do it, I want the bots to do it. Let's just cut all of that out. And my bots are starting to do it. I didn't want them to do that. I want these guys to do it. So we're not going to need this guy at all. Oh, that's right. We've got all this complicated carry on that doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. We were sending ingots down there. Oh, that's right. I need some ore to go down to this process here as well. You need silicon ore, and you also need silicon ore. So, alright, we'll have to still do that. But that's a separate thing. I want to cut you and move you up, say to there, so that there's room for a chemical furnace. We need one part of the chemical furnace there, one there, so this is actually still in the wrong spot. Cut and bring it to there. I can get rid of these accumulations. So this one is going to do that. Okay. That should be fine. I may need more space. This one is going to... do that one. Yes, I definitely need more space. Alright, let's cut again. And pull that up. You're allowed to come back now and replace them. Okay, this may not work quite as neatly as I would like. I need to get the gas directly in there, so maybe this thing should actually sit at the side. Something like that. And we need to work out how to make the hydrogen chloride. We're not using a bottle. What? Oh. Not usage. Recipe. Chlorine and hydrogen, that was what I was assuming we were going to do. Or from a bottle. And there's some strange and weird and wonderful things we can do later on. Okay, we'll just do the this one. I think a normal chem plant, this will produce 100. We needed 60 in 4 seconds, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough. So do I have a chem plant? I do have a chem plant. That's fantastic. I might even ram it right up close. You are going to make, not that one. Those, no. Hydrogen chloride gas. That one. So we need hydrogen here, we need chlorine here. Not too difficult. We have chlorine way over here. I probably wasn't expecting to need it in any of these other processes. Now that we do, how about I... this has been a little limited because we're burning it off. Where actually do we make that chlorine here? Oh. Huh. Because there hasn't been any injection of the aluminium, alumina, we haven't been able to burn up this one, so that's why hydrogen is lowered, I guess would be the right way of looking at that for the moment. Oops. How high do I need this to go? That's probably completely irrelevant at this time. Right. That will give us the chlorine. We now need some hydrogen. I've actually been going out of my way to get the hydrogen pipes removed from here because they weren't really going anywhere useful. I guess these are the best examples I have currently, but I kind of want it down a whole lot, not way up here. About I bring this one across so I know exactly where I want it. Are you yellow? Basic? Oh no, you're not yellow. You're just the basic transport belt. Oops. There's hydrogen gas. I need another one of these for well, actually, maybe I should do that up here. What sort of belt are you? Basic, and you are basic. What I could do is actually have a red belt. Just go straight through that. And up here. Maybe we'll go just one higher just to make it slightly easier. A little bit more snaky than I really wanted it to be, but there we go. Why are we missing red inserters there? No idea. We got power. All of it has power. Oh, right. So, hydrogen. That recycles around. So how much hydrogen do we take in? We take 60 hydrochloric hydrogen chlorine, which comes from 30. So we get the hydrogen straight back out. We don't actually use any hydrogen. If I've done my maths there correctly, which basically means we don't even need the external hydrogen. We could just rotate around in a closed loop, which seems a bit odd. If that is in fact true. Now you oh, you need 6 silicon ingots to start this process. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to lose them all because, I don't know, some are coming out here. 6 out of 24. So, what I need to have happen is basically that. I've got tons at the moment. How are we going to regulate this to make sure we don't run out? Does this go the whole way? I think it does. Yes. This is actually way too slow. But we'll get to glass. We're working on silicon at the moment. Oh, you're full. The only other possible thing that we have for silicon is if we top this up for steel, but there's other things we could do there as well. But I guess I'm happy with this as it stands now. I'm not 100% sure about this hydrogen, whether it is a closed loop. So this won't actually add any to there, so I might just leave it as is for now, and we'll see if it works. But that's really what I wanted to do. That's why I wanted to start the episode, because I saw that as an opportunity. I don't think there's something better I can do with tin processing. Maybe there is, and I should have looked into it. Tin. So if we're looking at ingots, this is actually what I want to do. It's not so much because it's a tin process. So 24 tin ore becomes 24, or 16 becomes 24. That's what we actually are doing. Or there's this third one. Tin pellet becomes 24. We don't have yet. Which would give you a slight improvement again. So always, as you learn the higher techs, you're getting slightly better recipes. But I do want to go back to this one, because at the moment we're getting 40 molten glass is making 3 glass. So this is a 66% improvement for our glass, and our glass is a problem right now. So we need some molten tin to get down to our glass, and I'm going to star that for the moment because that's something I want to do. So this is molten tin. We need that to come down to glass. And this is all crap as well, basically. I need a way to get more than just one of these doing it, or a powder mixer too, or something. What's that? Flare stack. We are looking at the wrong things. No, it's not the ore powderizer. Powder mixer. I can make another one or two, but how many do I really need? You need 12 every 4 seconds. You make 2 in 4 seconds. So I actually need 6 of these things if I was to run this at full speed. Yes, we have not allowed for that. So, there's no reason why I shouldn't try to get this, well, at least triple it or something. Stone bricks don't have to be squished up here. They could be a lot lower down. go again with these silly windmills. That doesn't work, but that does. Just the... I need another power cord. So if we were to do that, we could move stone bricks somewhat out of the way, at least down to, say, here. Oops. Huh. Finally. Okay. And lime doesn't have to be going in up there. It could be coming in sort of down here as well. Let's do that as well. Screwed this up slightly. Right, so this doesn't have to be there. It could be there. I may actually even want to change this a bit more radically than what I've done so far. Oh. So, what would make more sense is if this one and this one joined up. And then we had 2 or 3 or 4 or more of these guys. But at the very least, I am going to... Oh, I thought I made another one of those. Maybe I did not. Powder mixer. Wasn't sure how many more I was going to make. See, this is... The whole thing is totally wrong here. The way it is. cut. Silicon ore needs to go somewhere. Something else needs to go somewhere. That can go somewhere. Maybe the red should be space. We don't need that. What I do want is more space is what I want. I don't know why I'm building myself into a corner here. We could do something like... that this kind of works. It's not great. Pick up from there. And it's still not very good, but it's better than what we had before. It's pretty awful, actually. Now, what I really wanted to do is to move to this glass recipe. So this is in a casting... This is actually the casting machine. Molten glass and molten tin and nitrogen. Alright. If we... change the recipe, the glass recipe. There's also a kind of in-between one, which you use lead, and you get some lead oxide. But I think I like this one. Can't mix fluids. Right. Very pedantic about where the various things come from. Okay, then. Where's our casting machine? Glass 3. That one's glass. That one is tin. I think I'll get the tin over there. glass there. I need to get molten tin and I need to get nitrogen. I know that I make nitrogen somewhere. That's chlorine. This is nitrogen. Nitrogen. Okay, so that actually works quite well. Okay, we'll have to make a hole. Go away. Landfill. Nitrogen. The only one we're missing is the molten tin. And that should be available up here. So I need to get molten tin down to here. That is not going to be good. I'm going to have to change the nature of our inserters somewhat. Let's get fast stack filter. Molten tin. So you can cut glass. Glass. What's that? Glass fiber. Okay, glass. And you can pick up tin, not from there. Tin ingots. What are these? I think they're nickel or something then. Tin. Nickel, yes. They're nickel. So we have tin ingots coming up here. Which I guess we'll just put into there. For now, oh, this could be a problem. I seem to have gotten rid of most of the slag production now. pick up from there. Which actually will recycle the tin. Hopefully it doesn't stop this working. Now I know 2 of these is not nearly enough, so not quite sure what we will do about it. It should be in the order of 2.5 times the amount of glass that we were getting before, though. Just for the cost of some nitrogen. Nitrogen seems to be dropping. I might have to check our supply, which I haven't done. Okay, no, you're just providing nitrogen down there, so I must have headed in the wrong direction. Where exactly? Here. So nitrogen is made from compressed air. Here. And then we burn it off. And we're putting oxygen to the sulfur dioxide recipe. Okay. Yeah. We'll have to watch that. We might have to introduce the ability to burn off the oxygen. Yeah, I doubt this is enough. Two, which need to be 6. Okay, never mind. That's good enough for now. So yeah, we are almost up to time even. How about I give you some rail? See if you'll sort out the rest of up here for me. I need another... Okay, so I'm making these down at the bottom of the base again. It was a pain picking up all the stone, quite frankly. Simple to make, but too much of a pain with all the stone that you needed. I'll check on Blue Science in a moment. I doubt it's working because we don't have the aluminum coming through. Here we go. So the point of getting the warehouse is to enable us to set up the lead train, because lead is a problem. Has been problematic for a while. You can see no batteries. That's kind of symptomatic of our issue there. This is the blue. Glass is used by both these processes. So this one just about has been flooded. This one is lacking aluminium. So that's the issue. I don't know if we have actually had enough time for aluminium to build up. Not really. We still don't even have enough lead. We're not even quite halfway on the aluminium. Lead is soon. Oh no, hang on. Lead's at 29 Ks. Lead's easily enough. Aluminium is not too far off. Reading that right, or is that, I think there's gold and aluminium, is that right? Probably. What about in here? We're getting more silicon loaded up. Anything else? Is that the tin? Yes. 32K of tin, so we're not exactly short of tin. But we're actually using up all the silicon. That's interesting. Probably just as well that we have this process here then. Maybe it was that process that ended up using it all up. Unknown. This is probably what's using all of that silicon up. Anyway, so I got that warehouse for a reason. It was to plant up here. I need another request to stop from the looks of things. We can call this one item equals lead or main in, because that's the main thing that we want to bring in here. I guess if we were to keep these, that would be lead. And probably aluminium is the next one. Aluminium, yeah, I guess it would be. Lead, aluminium. So we've got zinc, nickel, gold. We actually have more than I was expecting, I guess. You're picking up the slag. Well, most of you's picking up the slag. Okay. Well. Lead, we will make this aluminium. But if we're going to have 3, it leaves one more product, which is... I didn't think the processes I had over here. It's just iron and copper. So bobmonium chunks give you tin, silicon, cobalt we've already got going somewhere else. That's why we only need 3. That's zinc. Rubite, lead, nickel, aluminium, and gold. Well, I either have 4 coming in, or I have gold come in using this one, which is what we could do, I suppose. Could just be gold for now. But I guess in the interests of not going on forever, and the fact that I think there's some new processes for lead as well. Lead. Yes. Can we do that? No, we can't do that one. If we're trying to get to lead ingots, there is this path through lead oxide. 24 lead oxide becomes 24 lead ingots. We won't be doing it through glass. And it's like a processed lead, so it's kind of similar to what we've just done with the silicon, I guess, except we're using oxygen, which is good because I want to use up oxygen. Now when we get sulfur dioxide out, yeah, which get more sulfur from. Or I can just flare it away, or we're using it here, are we? We are actually using it here, so that actually works quite well. You do that in a blast furnace. Alright. Do I have a spare one? I think I do. Where am I? Up there. Maybe that was one too high. What's this? Sulfur dioxide. So what we ideally want is blast furnace. That is going to do that. Can't mix fluids. Oh, let's just take that away. Oh, sulfur dioxide and output from here. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Lead oxide. And if you were going to burn lead oxide, let's make lead ingots. Right. So the oxygen is just a pain. Now to get to the lead oxide, you need processed lead. That might be best. Processed lead, which I'm going to kind of assume is usual. Processed lead. And you're going to feed down to there. You release lead oxide. You're going to do that. You need carbon coming in. One of these. Something like that. So we'd need oxygen, which I have around here somewhere. There's oxygen down at the bottom actually is. Was going into there, but you don't need oxygen anymore because it's going to be used in a different part. It's going to be used up here. There's our oxygen and our sulfur dioxide then. It's a slight move. There. I guess we will do this. That covers all of them. And now I just need to wind that up to here and bring in the lead, but we can do that in the next episode. So thanks for joining me for this one. Look forward to seeing you in the next. Bye bye for now.